What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to This is America, Blacked Out. It's your host, the one and only Paul Owens. On this show, we go into everyday life. Sometimes we use sports, sometimes celebrities, movies, etc., etc. And we come at it from a black perspective, hence, blacked out. Also, a lot of the times, I'll be coming at you in the wee hours of the morning, hence blacked out. Also, a lot of times we'll be in my movie room. And as you'll see, it's totally blacked out. Today, we're going to be dealing with Kyrie Irving, the one and only Uncle Drew. And a couple days ago, the Brooklyn Nets were playing the Los Angeles Lakers. About 2 minutes into the third quarter, there was an altercation between Unc and Dennis Schroder. Just to give you a background on what was going on, the Lakers were up at the time. Dennis Schroder had 19 points in 20 minutes. Kyrie had 18 points in 21 minutes. At the time, they were both ejected. So, to say the least, they was going at it. And Dennis Schroder, just to keep it real, from a stats point of view, he was getting the best of Kyrie. I'm only saying this because it adds context, and whether you believe it or not, it possibly could have played a part in why Kyrie got so angry. I'm not going to come at it from that angle, but it very is possible, and you guys might be coming at it from that angle. Long story short, they're chatting out there, they're going at it, it escalates. All of a sudden, they're kicked out. Nobody really understands why they got kicked out, what happens. It comes out a day or two later, 2 days, I believe, because this happened on the weekend. Dennis Schroder used the N-word at Kyrie Irving. Hence why we're here. We know that the NBA is 75% black. I'm 37 myself. LeBron James is 36. He uses the word nigga. Not that he's the end all be all. If he doesn't do it, nobody else will do it. But just for age reasons, he's one of the seniors in the NBA. So I only say that because everybody in the NBA is using the word nigga, except for the white boys, of course, right? So I'm going to play a clip from Chris Broussard, Shannon Sharp, and Skip. And they're going to go into what they feel about the altercation. They're going to give their stance on why it happened and if he was right and all that shit. I agree with what they're saying. I don't think either one of these reasons were the reasons. But let's hear what Chris Broussard has to say. I'm only going to play about 20 seconds of this so I don't get any copyright. Hopefully, I don't get one, or I might be taken out the game as quickly as I got in. This is only my second video, so I'm going to try to play about 20, 25 seconds just so you guys can get the gist of the altercation itself. All right.
The shorthanded Lakers blew out the Nets 126-101 on Saturday night. Just over 2 minutes into the third quarter, Dennis Schroder and Kyrie Irving got into a verbal argument that resulted in both players being ejected, a career first for both. Yesterday morning, apparently in reference to their exchange, Kyrie tweeted, quote, "The N-word is a derogatory racial slur. It will never be a term of endearment, reclaimed, flipped. Never forget it's foul and true history. Throw that N-word out the window, right alongside all those other racist words used to describe my people. We are not slaves or ends." A lot of words there. So Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard is joining us now. Chris, your reaction. Are you surprised by the stance Kyrie took?
I'm not surprised. I'm actually very proud of Kyrie. And I texted some people in his inner circle that last night to relay that message to him. I'm glad he took this stance, and I would love it if African Americans in mass took heed to the words that Kyrie says. Because as Shannon knows, this is a very controversial and hotly debated topic in the Black community, whether or not we should use the word to refer to each other. Obviously, some think we can, and it's fine, and others think we shouldn't. And Kyrie, if you follow Kyrie on social media, you can see that he is discovering his African and Native American roots. And a lot of many, if not all, but many, maybe I'd say most African Americans who really get deep into their African heritage by studying African history, not just African American history that starts in slavery, but what were we doing in Africa before we were enslaved in America? What religions, what words were we using? What were we like then? African Americans that go that deeply tend to be against us using the N-word. And I think that's where Kyrie is at. I'm in that camp. I don't think we should use it. Malcolm X was in that camp. He didn't think we should use it. Richard Pryor, when he went, who used to use it obviously early in his career, when he went over to Africa, he came back to America and said, "I didn't see any N-words. I'm never going to use that word again." So that's where I think Kyrie is at. It's interesting. Back in 2014, I think it was, Nicki Minaj she had like a poster or something that correlated the N-word with Malcolm X. She had a photo of Malcolm X and the N-word on it. And Black people in mass got upset. How dare you associate Malcolm X with that word? Which I agree with, and Malcolm was a great leader, but I think it was like, we respect Malcolm. You can't put that word on him. We should have that respect for all Black people and say, you can't put that word on any of us. Not just Malcolm and Martin Luther King, but all of us. So that's where I'm at with that. I understand there's a difference between Blacks and whites using the word. I don't get upset or offended when I'm around African Americans and they use it. Shannon, I got family, I got great friends that use the N-word. You know, it is what it is. But I wish we would not use it, because I do think, in my opinion, like, a lot of African Americans believe that's a remnant of a slave mentality that.
Okay. Now we just heard Chris Broussard. And for the most part, I agree with him. There is a segment of the Black community that does not believe you should say that word ever. Not with the ER, or they don't even want to hear nigga. They don't care what you interpret to mean, what the acronym means. They don't want to hear none of that. They on some, look, they was using this word while they was putting foot to ass. Plain and simple, I don't want to hear it. I agree with that. And for the most part, I'm going to give them that respect. If I'm around the OG and I know he doesn't like the term, you know, I'm going to bow gracefully. I'm going to apologize, and I'm going to try my best to be on my best behavior and not use it if this is one of my elders. Now, in this situation, though, you have an NBA that's 75% black. Bruh, I wouldn't be surprised if the word nigga had not been said at least 50 times before they got out of halftime. And I only say this because I know how much we say it. Once again, all the NBA uses this word. I mean, all the black players. You can't convince me otherwise. Okay. And so, and once again, look at Schroder's face here. He like, bro, is you serious? Like, you really, is you bullshitting, bro? Or is you mad because I hit these 19 points on you in one half? You know what I'm saying? So once again, I agree with Chris Broussard. There is that angle, and that's one of the angles that he could be in. He could have just got on his woke shit, and now he doesn't want to have anything to do with the word. The reason why I disagree with Chris Broussard, although that is a real thing, is because Kyrie just didn't get woke yesterday. Kyrie's been woke for a minute. And typically, when a person comes into this understanding of consciousness, wherever that may fall on a totem pole, because all consciousness is not the same, but wherever he falls in on that, yes, at the beginning, typically, one becomes very zealous, sometimes even angry, because he understands that he's been lied to. Sometimes he just wants to spread what he knows and understands to everyone else, almost to the point where people can start to get frustrated with that individual. This has happened in my family before. People don't want you to come to the cookouts no more because on Thanksgiving, you telling them what Thanksgiving actually means, what actually happened on Thanksgiving. You're telling them what St. Patrick's Day actually happened, what happened to the Aborigines of Ireland. You're going into all of that. Christmas, you're telling them this is a day of, degenerate behavior, and so a lot of people just want to wear their damn green shirts and get drunk. A lot of people just want to open up them gifts, even though you could give a gift to somebody at any time. But I digress. So this is a real thing, but that's the reason why I don't think. I mean, once again, he could have, because once you go down the woke rabbit hole, it damn near never ends. So yes, could he have got on some more woke shit? Possibly. But even if he did, because I'm learning stuff every day, I went down the woke rabbit hole and I learned stuff every day, but still I just learn it and I take it for what it is, because I've already done all that. Let me drill it into somebody else's head so they can think exactly how I think. It doesn't work. Now, once you're in it for a while, you understand, you just plant the seed, and it may take a while, but at its given time, when the Most High says it sprouts, you feel me? So that's why I disagree. The other angle is this. I think there's three angles. I'm going to mention two of them now. Then I'm going to let my boy Shannon speak, and then I'm going to wrap it up and put my little bow on it. But the other angle is that Kyrie was just pissed off. And now he used that as the catalyst to, get into it with this brother. Now, I also don't agree with that, but I actually accept that more than him just getting extra woke all of a sudden. Because once again, like I said, you have that zeal on you in the beginning. Kyrie, we know that he's identified with his Native American or American Indian heritage. He's actually a part of a band or tribe. However, his mother was actually a full-blood Indian, and she was adopted out. And they actually had a ceremony welcoming him back into the tribe. And if you know anything about American Indians, there are actually laws against actually being adopted by white people. Once again, I digress. Okay, so let's hear what Shannon has to say, and then I'm going to give you the angle that I'm coming from. Once again, Chris Broussard is saying that Kyrie Irving is waking up, and he's very zealous to the point where he's about to fight this brother over the word. That is possible. My argument to that is that Kyrie Irving didn't just wake up yesterday. The other lane, he could just been irritated that day. He could be pissed off, and he know the word, the meaning of the word, and because he was pissed off, that just added some extra fire on into it and whatever. Once again, I'm not buying either one of these. Hence why I'm coming from the angle I'm coming from. But let's see what Shannon has to say, and then I'm gonna wrap it up.
We insist on using that word. I believe it's a remnant of the slave mentality. Just like we use good hair to describe white people's hair, but not black people's hair. Just like we have a color complex, light versus dark. I think the N-word falls right in line with all of that stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Chris. But I think the thing is that, and you know this, in all groups, there have been certain times that we use words to describe one another that if someone outside of that group were to use it, it would be highly offensive. It would be highly derogatory or considered a slur. Like we talk to one another in our community, we might use the N-word. The gay and lesbian community might use words that are offensive or derogatory within their subgroups. That's fine with them. But if someone else said that, women do use words that if someone outside not being a woman were to call them that. But for me, okay, Schroder might have said, they hear it all the time in the NBA because the majority of the NBA players are black, and I'm sure when they're talking to one another, they say this. Okay, it looked to me, Chris, is that Schroder didn't say this until Kyrie got to put it in his face. And he said, damn, Ian. And he was like, Kyrie was trying to press him. He like, is it that serious? Why are you all up on me like that? And so Kyrie got upset, took offense, and said, don't call me that. Schroder's looking at him like, really? Like, my bad, okay. For me, if I were to call someone in my subgroup that, and they say, hey, Sean, man, I appreciate it if you don't call me that. Okay, fine, no problem. But don't keep trying to press me. Oh, bro, you heard what I said. Bro, you said don't call you that. I'm cool with it. Let it go. For me, it looked like it was something bigger. It's hard for me to believe somebody call you that, you blow it up, and keep escalating it to the point that you get removed from the game. Because it marred what really was a good game, a huge win for the Lakers. So for me, I get it. If you're in a subculture and you don't want to be called a word that's deemed that someone else called you outside of that group, okay, fine. I have no problem with you verbalizing it. But to take it to the level in which he took it to, Chris, there has to be something. We've seen situations. Two brothers get into a fight and somebody stabs somebody over a piece of chicken. Or somebody did because...
Did this brother just say, we all been at a get together and we see two brothers get into it? and one gets stabbed over a piece of chicken. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. There do be some. I ain't never seen the one over a piece of chicken, but niggas will get into it. But I'm with Shannon on here. That's the other avenue, or at least the logical one you can come to. That he was already had something else was going on. And I'm agreeing with you. And I'm finna give y'all that something else. Okay? Now, as some of you know, inner city African Americans, or whatever you call yourself, man. I'm not going to get into all the names, whatever, but let's just say black for right now, since we're on the Blacked Out show. For inner city blacks from America, we understand. Y'all will understand this, okay? I think every black probably understands this, but I know for sure in the inner city. The reason why I say inner city, because if you're from the inner city, everybody, once you get to the age of 15, 16, you start to see that everybody is exploiting your people, okay? The Asians, that could be Chinese, Koreans, Hmongs. We got Arabs or Middle Eastern people, that's Pakistanis. You know who they are. All these people own stores, and they're all in your neighborhood. They all treat you like shit. We even have the foreign blacks who come over from places like Africa, the Caribbean, Jamaica, South America, and they don't fuck with you either. And we're phenotypically different, but for the most part, we have the understanding up here that, hey, it's better for us to work together, even though we're not even working with each other. But our mind is like, look, bro, like, why don't you, what I mean? We fighting each other over here, but we still understand, like, you my brother. Them niggas ain't having it. Like, blacks who come over here, they like, look, you over there, we over here. Do you want to buy something from me? That's what it is. And because we're not commercially set up in our own neighborhoods, we don't understand capitalism. We are going to these people for our daily bread. Okay. So in the last 3 to 4 years, there's been kind of a push for American blacks to say, hey, look, y'all have never considered yourself us. Let's make this separation clear. So now you have movements like the Aboriginal movement, the Indigenous movement. You have FBA, that is Foundation of Black Americans. You have ADOS, that's American Descendants of Slaves. And you have these groups. They're not saying that we hate you guys, but they are saying like, hey, I'm going to take you up on your offer that we're different. Okay. And we are. Our cultures are different. There's no beef between us, but we definitely don't get along. We're not invited to their cookouts. They're not invited to ours. I'm not saying, so don't nobody get on here. I got friends and people that I know who are cool. But as a whole, they're not getting down chicky like that. And the fucked up part is that the American black would love for it to be like that. Because we do have this, for the most part, most of us have been brought up on this African ideology, okay? But it's only one way. It's taking place over here, but they don't even know what this shit is over there. You see what I'm saying? So now black people are kind of saying like, look, we have no benefit in saying, hey, we're just one we're not a homogenous group, but there's no benefit in trying to act like we are, which I agree. We need to get our stuff together here before we can even think about saying, hey Haitian man, or hey Jamaican man, or hey African man, wherever you're from, come kumbaya with us. So my angle that I'm coming from is that Kyrie wasn't mad at the actual term nigga. He got angry because of whose mouth it came out of. If you don't know and you can't tell, Schroder is not an American black name, okay? Dennis Schroder is from Germany. His father's German, his mother is Gambian, okay? So he is black, but he's not an American black. Now, I know y'all like this shit, bro. You tripping, nigga. We all black. I'm telling you. And if you don't understand this, I'll be hard pressed to not know how, because you have to see, and I'm talking to my fellow black brothers, that the separation is evident, you know? So I think Kyrie was like, hey, nigga, you ain't no nigga, bruh. Like, y'all don't help us fight our battles. You know what I'm saying? And y'all probably think I'm going down the woke rabbit hole. And I may be. Maybe I'm stretching this shit a little bit too far. But let's just say if it's the other way, if it's he's just very zealous right now, in that case, he's gonna be getting kicked out the next game, bro. Because look, nobody is going to, unless like Kyrie was reminding him the whole game, like, hey, stop calling me that. That might be a thing, okay? But bruh, tomorrow when they go play and the ball gets tipped off, he's gonna get called nigga. What up, nigga? When niggas is coming, what up, bruh? What up, nigga? You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to see Kyrie Irving, who was, I believe, 6'2", one of the shortest people in the NBA. Not saying that he should be scared of anybody bigger, but it's hard for me to believe that he's going to be checking every damn person who uses that word. Now, once again, he might have came at Schroder like, hey, bro, I don't fuck with that term no more. But from the look of Schroder's face, man, Schroder look, hold on, Schroder looked pretty confused, man. Schroder like, bro, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? So, and Kyrie like, yeah, bro, you look like you want to say nigga again. I'm going to check the chin. So my point is, yes, man. This is a whole nother way of thinking at it, but I think it's it's all conjecture, but I'm pretty sure, man, it just, bro, he's not finna be checking everybody out there for saying the word nigga. Now, yes, there's nuance. Did he remind him a couple times not to say it, and he kept saying it? That's possible, but from Dennis Schroder's, if y'all go back and look at this, he looks pretty surprised, like almost like he want to say, nigga, is you serious? As much as we say this word out here, you really get mad about this shit? Now we all know. Kyrie's he's far to the left or far to the right, whatever when you consider him. But most people, remember he was talking about retiring like 4 years ago at Cleveland before they even, maybe it was right after they won the championship or right before. So he thinks different, okay? Everybody says he's very smart, and things. So he could have just flipped out, but I'm betting, man, with this new ideology, like, hey, we're actually, black people are getting, don't get me wrong, Pan-Africanism ain't dead, but for the most part, bro, we like, look, this is our shit, man. We deserve everything that we gonna get from this motherfucker, and we want what we supposed to have in this motherfucker. I am an American. Negro, black person, aboriginal, indigenous, autochthonous, whatever you want to say. But we owning that for the most part. Yes, you do have that segment who wants to be in the motherland. So, but look, y'all gonna start seeing it. I'm pretty sure y'all already been seeing it. There's been lots of conversation going on, debates, Discord, and so this is not anything new. It just might be new to you right now. Anyway, I'm gonna close it out and let Skip and Chris finish what they talking about. Skip ain't really got a dog in the fight, so I'm not gonna really let him say shit. But let me wrap this up.
They didn't take the dog out. That wasn't the factor. There were precursors. That was the final straw. There was something else that went on that was going on in Kyrie that caused him to blow up like this and to escalate it.
Could I address that quickly, Skip?
Yes.
My man? Yeah. I think Shannon, and you look, I'm sure you've known guys that got Afrocentric.
Yes.
Right? They start coming in the knowledge of Black history. And a lot of times they're like a bull in a china shop, you know, and you're offending people around you because you're so gung-ho about this newfound knowledge you had. I was even like that when I first became a Christian. I was like a bull in a china shop. You know, I was just
talking about that cursing.
And I think that right. I think that's where Kyrie's at. I think he's coming into this knowledge, you know, for the first time. Why wasn't I taught this stuff in school? Why didn't I know this? Why don't Black people know this about ourselves? And he's probably overzealous. So I think that's why what you said, that's probably why he reacted the way he did.
Okay, I'm going to step back from what I've found to be a fascinating give and take between you two. And I'm going to restate my position on this. I have dealt with this issue for maybe 15 years on live TV. And obviously, I am not qualified to pick a side on this because Chris is on one side, Shannon's on another side.
Well said, Skip. We have no dog in the fight. No sense of listening to you. But yes, what both of the brothers said is absolutely correct. In a different scenario, I would agree with them, but it just don't quite make sense to me, you know. Anyway, I want to hear what you brothers think. Like, share, subscribe, post something in the comment. Give me some feedback. Let me know what I got wrong. Let me know what I got right. Peace.